Alrighty, so it is week 8, and I'm not sure you would have noticed, but it's okay if you didn't. But for the last 4 weeks, depending on what was happening, I was not always showing you my face for the last couple weeks, and you probably didn't notice. It's totally fine, but if you did notice, I just wanted to kind of own up to something, and it's not really owning up, but just to tell you for the last 4 weeks, I've actually been up in Northern California working through a very interesting process that I finished. It's a medical thing. And I'm happy to be home. It's wonderful to kind of settle back. The truth was, even though I was up there, I worked a lot actually and kept up. I was really happy I kept up with everything, but doing code reviews was a real challenge for me. But you know what? Just like it's a challenge for you to write code, for me, even though this semester has by far been a blessing in the sense that I have the most students enrolled in my JavaScript and not in my Python class so much, but for sure in the JavaScript class, that scheduling all the code reviews and just getting them done was a good challenge, but a challenge nonetheless. But it really reaffirms for me what I've been saying all along, the importance of you being able to talk about that code, you being able to first write code that works and that, meets the requirements, of course, and then be able to talk about it. I understand that it is a real, it creates, depending on your skill level. And yeah, this is a beginning class, but some students come in with some programming experience, so they have a different experience than those who don't. But I really judge the students' work based on my requirements and how well they can talk about it. And I really enjoy the conversations. Quite frankly, it's one of the most enjoyable parts of teaching for me, because getting to know you, getting to know like where this course may be, like needs to have some changes done to it, or just getting to know your goals and what you want to do has been really awesome for me. So this is actually the last semester I'm teaching Python. I'll be teaching only JavaScript after this. I have really enjoyed. I feel like Python has made me a better coder. I think Python's great because it allows you to express your ideas in a more concise way, concise way than JavaScript. But JavaScript, because it's in the browser, has all these other benefits. So there's benefits to both. So the thing I want to kind of leave in your brain this week is first, the schedule this week looks a little different. You have a learn together for the first item due this week, and then the code along for the second. And that's just the way the schedule worked out for this semester. So the learn together is one that I find I've kind of picked out of when I'm reviewing the days we've covered since the last time we did a learn together, the things that I feel like I really want to make sure we have nailed with you, or at least given you more experience with. And the idea of a nested data structure, right? Whether that be if the outside structure is a list and the inside structure is a dictionary, or even if it's a dictionary and then a dictionary and then a list, but being able to process, first get user data, store some kind of data structure into this nested idea, and then report out on it is just such a great skill to walk away with. So that's what we're going to do this week. And I have a short video just showing you conceptually how I approach this. I give you some flexibility as far as what you want to start with. I started with something new. It was just more fun for me. So I just want you to keep that in mind as you move through that. And then day 11 is a really good challenge day of blackjack and learning how to code. And she goes through and gives you, okay, several hints, and you can choose the hints you want to use. Right. So I know that can be a little more challenging if you choose not to do all the hints in order to do the commits that I require. So just, if you're struggling with that, reach out and, as long as you've done a good faith effort to, if you've gone through and coded it and then gone through and done the solution, you can just note that. But I suspect most of us will probably go through and use the hints. Okay, the thing I'll leave you with today, last thing I'll cover is last week I covered and gave you the sneak preview, right, of Dev 1. But I just want to emphasize, as I did last week, that that is subject to change, not huge changes, but there may be things as I get closer to it and remember things that I saw last semester that I wanted to clarify, right, that I may add in there, but I will always let you know. But the thing I want to say, besides that, is that if you're choosing to go from what you started with Dev 0 to Dev 1, and if you missed something in that process of the base requirements, then you need to fix that before you start even thinking about how you're going to do the changes required for Dev 1. Okay. So if you ran into some issues, and you and I have talked about it at this point, then you'll need to make sure you fix those so that when you're ready to start working on your Dev 1, you have code that meets that requirement. Again, I say, come see me, talk to me. Or the tutors. The tutor Aaron's been great in this class. I think several of you reached out. So I just want to say that. The other thing is, if you start anew, if you're going to start a whole new concept to go into Dev 1, that also needs to meet those requirements, right? So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about moving. As you saw last week here, the requirements, and yeah, some of that we haven't covered, so it may not click in your head. How would I do something like that? But it would be a good time now to fix anything that you missed in Dev 0. Okay, I think that's all I had. I am running a little behind. Actually, this is week 7. I'm running a little behind on grading, just trying to complete the code reviews this week, but I will get it done. Know that it will be done before I head out tomorrow for my weekend. So I hope you're doing well. It's cold and sunny in Fresno, which is wonderful, and both cold in the morning, chilly, but wonderfully warming up. But we'll all warm up soon. So wonderful to be back in Fresno. And if you want to know, by the way, some of you have actually, because I did this in my other class, if you want to know what I went through, I'm more than willing to share it, but I just don't feel the need to do it here and take your time up. Okay. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you later.